All right, 10.5 is constellations. So we start out in our textbook by talking about the celestial sphere. So this is an imaginary giant hollow sphere with the Earth at the center and the sun, moon, stars, and other planets on its inner surface. So at any location on the Earth, only half of the celestial sphere is going to be visible at once. The other half is, of course, blocked by the view of the Earth itself. So the horizon is the line that separates the visible portion of the celestial sphere from the part that we cannot see. So here's a little image here. So if you were sitting outside, the celestial sphere would be what's above you. And then, of course, the portion of the Earth that blocks your view, that's the horizon. So the distance between objects on the celestial sphere is measured at an angle. So you have minutes of arc, and then you have seconds of arc. The celestial poles, okay? So these are the points on the celestial sphere that are directly overhead of the Earth's poles. So you are going to have a north celestial pole and you are going to have a south celestial pole. At the north one is the star Polaris. It's also known as the North Star and the Pole Star. There is no star at the south celestial pole. Sorry. And then, of course, in the center, you're going to have what is called the celestial equator, which is directly above the Earth's equator. Circumpolar. So this describes a star that is always above the horizon to an observer at any particular location. Any star that is the same distance away from the visible celestial pole as the observer's latitude north or south of the equator is going to be known as circumpolar. Any star this distance away from the other celestial pole will never rise at all. Then, of course, you have your zodiacs. So this is the imaginary band extending for about 8 degrees on either side of the ecliptic. Constellations. There are 88 zones into which modern astronomers divide the sky, and those are the constellations. Asterisms are a small group of stars that are used to form a picture or represent an object. Not all constellations are visible from all latitudes. Stargazers divide the constellations based on the seasons. So we're going to talk about some spring constellations. Ursa Major, of course, is the Great Bear, and it contains the Big Dipper. Ursa Minor is the Little Bear. It contains Polaris and the Little Dipper. Leo is the Lion, and Regulus is the brightest star in Leo. Boots is the herdsman. Arcturus is one of the 4 brightest stars in the sky. Virgo is the Virgin. So spica, spike, or ear of grain. So this is because Virgo is represented as this beautiful maiden with folded wings, and in her left hand she holds a stalk of wheat. So spica, spike, or ear of grain. And it marks that spot. Some summer constellations, you have Draco the Dragon, Lyra, which is a type of heart, and Vega is located within it. It's the brightest summer star. Cygnus is the Swan. Deneb is its brightest star, and it also marks the top of the Northern Cross. And the summer triangle is made from Deneb, Vega, and Altair. It is a prominent asterism. Aquila, this is the eagle. Scorpius is the scorpion. It has Antares. It marks the heart of the scorpion. Sagittarius is the archer, and it is portrayed often as a centaur. So then they make the teapot, the milk dipper, formed by Sagittarius's bow and arms. Autumn constellations. You have Cassiopeia, named after the mythical queen of Ethiopia. Cepheus, named after Cassiopeia's husband. Alderman is the brightest star located in it. Then you have Andromeda, who is their daughter. And so around the waist is the Andromeda galaxy. And then you have Pegasus, the flying horse. So the Great Square is an asterism between Andromeda and Pegasus, the flying horse. And 3 of Pegasus's stars are part of the Great Square. Winter constellations. Perseus is the first one we're going to mention. He is the hero who killed the sea monster and saved Andromeda. Algol is the best known star, and it's actually a group of 2 stars. Orion is the brightest of all constellations. Then you have Canis Major, which is the big dog. And Sirius is the brightest star in the heavens. And it, of course, is located on the snout of Canis Major. Gemini means twins. Then you have Taurus the bull. It has Aldebaran. It's a large orange star. And then Pleiades, and that is a star group. Some southern constellations. So southern constellations are not going to be visible in the northern hemisphere. So you have Centaurus. It resembles a centaur. And the 2 front feet are these 2 stars, Beta Centauri and Alpha Centauri. Crux, it's Latin for cross. And the 4 brightest stars in the crux form the asterism called the Southern Cross.